Good afternoon, folks. This is yet another video series in our retooling process, and this is your STFU Express, which really just basically translates into shut the fuck up. So today we're going to talk about Mississippi and Governor Tate Reeves, who, by the way, I have been on this guy's case just recently, maybe just a week or two ago. So let's talk here. Today, in an interview, Governor Reeves, who is, how do I say this? Not only an anti-vaxxer, but an anti-masker, and a basically hands-off, I'm not touching COVID, with a 10-foot pole. A man who calls Joe Biden's move to make the federal government workers get a vaccine tyrannical. So let's talk a little bit about Mississippi, okay? Can we talk about this? All right, I got some notes here. Now, in the state of Mississippi, students are required to be vaccinated against measles, mumps, rubella, chickenpox, hepatitis B, polio, tetanus, and a host of other unsavory illnesses. Now, you know, if you're one of those natural immunity kind of people and you believe that we should bring all of these illnesses back after spending all of this time eradicating these things around the world and controlling them, then I suggest to you that there's something wrong with you, okay? This is not 1776, no matter what you think, okay? And personally, I am not going back there. My children were fully vaccinated. I didn't even blink an eye when that was required before school started every year. And I still don't, okay? But he is resistant to any kind of mandates at all in a state which is one of the lowest vaccinated states in the nation, if not the lowest. He has a death rate that is outrageous. You know, as it was pointed out to him today, if he were the head of his own country, if Mississippi were a nation, it would be number 2 in deaths per capita, just behind Peru. All right? So, he believes that the people of Mississippi should take personal responsibility for protecting themselves against COVID, as opposed to being told what to do. Well, apparently that can't be working out all that well. I believe last week 3,600 people died in Mississippi from COVID. Okay? Now, according to him, you know, the numbers are lagging behind because he's reduced that to 1,800. I'm just going to tell you, people, the man is demented. And, you know, one of the things I get on him for in the past was his statement that the people of Mississippi don't worry about COVID because they believe in eternal life in Jesus Christ. Well, it's a good fucking thing that they do, because they ain't going to last long living in that state. So they might as well believe that they're going to live on somewhere else. He then made a bizarre statement that Mississippi only has a part-time legislature. Maybe it would be better if the country did too. I'd like to point this out to people. All right, I'm particularly talking to the people who believe this is fake, this is no big deal, that, we can develop a natural immunity. We don't need any pharmaceuticals. We don't need any help, any medications. We can just take, anti-parasitic created for, Bessie the cow and Mr. Ed. Or we can start to ingest betadine. I'd like to point out to everyone here that in the United States, there are 660,000 people dead so far from COVID. 1 in 500 people is dying from COVID. No one's making up these numbers. Okay? Nobody. Since school has started in September, 500,000 children have been diagnosed with COVID. Get a fucking clue. I'd like to remind Tate Reeves that the job of the government, besides, doing nothing, is actually protecting the public health. And the notion that people will take personal responsibility is a fucking flat out joke. And you know what? The problem with all of this nonsense with personal responsibility is this. The people who don't take personal responsibility put others in danger. Innocent people. It's like telling somebody they can drive fucking drunk. But perhaps the most galling statement that came out of Fat Boy's mouth was the fact that the only reason that Joe Biden is talking about mandate vaccines is to take the topic away and the conversation away from Afghanistan. Let me remind Tate Reeves of something. This pandemic has worn on for over a year now, and it's not going to go away. There are scientists around the world, not just in the United States. I'm talking about scientists now, not pharmaceutical company manufacturing, okay? Not presidents of pharmaceutical companies. Scientists, people who have helped to eradicate smallpox, who are saying this is now going to become an endemic problem in the United States. It is not going away. No amount of natural immunity will help you. No amount of supplements will save you. I personally don't put any of my health in other people's hands in this nation. I work in retail and I have seen it all. Tate Reeves, he can shut the fuck up. You know something? Maybe what they should do is make him a part-time governor. And if they put somebody in there with a brain and with an understanding of what his responsibility is, maybe they'll still have some people left at the end of this thing. I'll talk to you all later.